Good morning to everyone here and in our Zoom room. Hey, Zoomies! Thank you for joining us today at Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. I'd like to introduce our guest musician, Dr. Sam Walters. He's a singer, songwriter from Edgewater, Colorado. He's a vocalist and guitar player that has been performing since 1980. He was formerly a minister and led a Christian rock band in Texas for several years during the 1980s.
When we had hair.
Since 2013, Sam has been performing with the Mile High Church Choir, where he serves as the tenor section leader. Sam is quite excited to share with the congregation today at Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies.
Thank you. Thank you. I realized last week when I snuck in, I was the guy that snuck in and sat up front because Karen Karsh is a good friend of mine, and so I came down to kind of check things out, and I didn't realize I had to have a third song to kind of wake you up a little bit, so I put something together this week, and hopefully you like it. So substitute the word Tuesday for Sunday, Sunday for Tuesday, okay? Tuesday morning never looked so good. I'm already in a daydream. The sun is shining to wake me up. Telling me just to stay and don't go away. I'm already in a daydream. I'm already in a daydream. In a daydream, in a daydream.
Thank you, Sam Walters. I'd like to introduce our speaker today. She's going to be speaking a little later. Her name is Dr. Regina Lewis, and she leads and has alliances with worldwide organizations specializing in leadership development and organizational communication, with clients ranging from Fortune 500 companies through not-for-profit agencies to educational institutions. Dr. Lewis's proven specialty is leadership, professional excellence, culture, inclusion, entrepreneurship, executive coaching, strategic development, and executive public speaking coaching. There's more. She is a consulting partner, international speaker, virtual moderator, external evaluator, researcher, and policy examiner, program report review writer, and CEO of Regina Speaking, LLC. Through this company, she has worked with clientele executives, groups, and organizations in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Hong Kong, China, Ethiopia, Vietnam, Brazil, and the United States, to name a few. As a war veteran who honorably served the United States Air Force, Dr. Lewis is Professor Emerita, is that how you pronounce it? Emerita for Pikes Peak State College and an executive coach for the Center for Creative Leadership. She holds a doctorate in educational leadership research and policy, a master's of arts in communication, a bachelor of arts in communication, and a bachelor of arts in psychology. Regina's work in the area of diversity and inclusion has become an award-winning program. Additionally, her publications are found in books, journals, and educational textbooks. Dr. Regina Lewis. We're so excited to have you here today. And now here's our inclusivity statement. Unity in the Rockies is an inclusive community. We welcome all people, races, gender identities, and relational orientations. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And now we get to do our mission together. So we are an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. And I have a couple of announcements. I don't know if you know this, but this is the last day of our bookstore liquidation sale. Yes. Plan on going in after the service, and everything is 40% off. There are figurines, jewelry, chimes, wall hangings, special treats, and meaningful items for everyone on your gift list, including yourself. I've already purchased so many gifts for my friends and sisters. And then, next Sunday, there is a special service honoring the 60th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. This August marks the 60th anniversary of this speech, and we will come together to examine the powerful words and imagery of this once-in-a-lifetime spiritual leader. Joining Dr. David will be Dr. Regina Lewis, Vice President of the Board for Spiritual Living in Colorado Springs, and Reverend Dr. Michelle Medrano from Mile High Church in Lakewood, as well as Reverend Dr. Nathaniel Granger will be portraying Dr. King for this extraordinary presentation. Our very own Connie Castro will also be joining us in coordinating a wonderful team of musical guests. So please join us next Sunday, August 27th, for this elongated 90-minute service. And just so that you know, there is a community fellowship setup team that is needed for Saturday, the day before, August 26th. So please volunteer to help cook on Saturday, the 26th, from 9 a.m. to 11. And also, we need help cleaning up after fellowship on the 27th. Please contact Donna Grant if you are moved to volunteer. Unity in the Rockies is pleased to offer Adventure in Prosperity, a 7-week study of the book Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Desires by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Esther channels the entity known as Abraham, and the work is commonly referred to as Abraham Hicks. The program is open to all congregants and guests free of charge. All one needs to do is participate is to purchase the book. And everyone who signs up will receive a 50-page workbook in hard copy or electronically to follow along with the Sunday messages and weekly small group meetings. The program will launch September 17th and wraps up on November 8th with a celebration and potluck. Look for more information in next week's e-blast, including how to sign up for one of these small groups. Also, a presentation about clinical music therapy will be given at Gateway Presbyterian Church on Sunday, August 27th at 1 by board-certified music therapist Liz Colchis. If you're interested in learning more, please pick up a flyer out in the foyer with details on your way out. And finally, my final announcement. Welcome to the light on the Mesa.
So as you settle in, just kind of settle in and let's get going on some great service today. And you will hear on this track, actually, I was not prepared for this, you'll actually hear Karen Karsh. So, yeah. So I'm going to lead you along a little bit as well.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Thank you. That was nice. Good morning. My name is Forrest. I am your prayer chaplain today, and Carol is the other prayer chaplain, and we will be available to pray with you after the service up front here. Whether you are in a place of celebration or challenge, please take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. Also, written prayer requests can be placed in the prayer box in the lobby at any time. All right, I have a reading for us from the Daily Word. With understanding, my spirit is always cool. One of the best ways to remain calm in any agitating circumstance is to practice understanding. Seeking to understand gives me information and insight and eases my reactivity. It keeps my emotional thermostat dialed down if I am tempted to lose my cool. Perhaps poet Rudyard Kipling was referring to understanding in his poem If, when he wrote of the importance of keeping your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Properly mastered, my power of understanding gives me the strength and presence of mind to be a beacon in times of trouble or crisis. Whatever this day may bring, I will carry the light of understanding with me. I am cool in spirit. I am understanding. One who is cool in spirit has understanding. This is from Proverbs 17:27.
So when I originally was invited by Dr. David to come down, he sent me everything for the month and the message and everything and what Dr. Regina's message was going to be. And I thought, I write songs. I actually lead a New Thought band that was supposed to be here today. However, the fellas were all booked somewhere else. And so I said, oh gosh, I guess I'll go down and do it myself. So David said, sure, come on down and let's do this. So I looked at it and I thought, with original songs and everything, we'd come up with something, but it would be a stretch. But with the message being what it is, I thought the two songs I chose from you, and my band is called Simply Breathe, by the way, which we will be back, I believe, in November. Is what we'll be back, and it's four of us, and it's there's a lot of stuff set up. But I chose this one. I chose these two because they actually talk about each one of us and all the things we go through. And not trying to take a lot of your time, but I can say this, and I will say it proudly: is a year ago this week, I was diagnosed with a form of cancer. And it was a rough go. It's been kind of an interesting year. A few months ago, I literally had no hair, so I've got it back. And this was one song that just kept rolling around in my head through all the treatment and everything that I did. And now that I'm in remission, so I am in remission with that and got a lot of years left, I thought, this one would be absolutely perfect. And I did run it by Dr. Regina this morning, and she thought so too. So we're going to do it some justice here, I hope. He's lived as long as he possibly can, given the circumstance. 'Cause he's protected himself from the world. He never gave it a chance. And he says, here in my security, I put a limit on my self-potential and my possibility. She's seen these walls and they never change. Everything's in its place. Her relationship so neatly arranged, down to religion and race. And she says, here in my security, I don't make a move unless my friends approve. I do what's expected of me. And as I grow older, there's so much that I do not know. I'm drawn to those who are bolder and go where no one dared to go. And I sleep and I dream of the person I might have been, and I'll be free again. And I'll speak like someone who's been to the highest peaks and back again. And I swear that my grass is greener than anyone's till I believe again. Then I wake and the dream fades away and I face the day, and then realize that there's got to be some hero in me. 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 They've been suppressing their every desire. They do nothing on a whim. She's lost the sparkle and he's lost the fire. Their future looks very dim. And I say, here in my security, I've simply let myself go. I've developed a codependency. And as I grow older, so many places that I've never been. Well, time's tapping my shoulder. I hope it's never too late to begin. And I sleep and I dream of the person I might have been. And I'll be free again. And I'll speak like a someone who's been to the highest peaks and back again. And I swear that my grass is greener than anyone's till I believe again. Then I wake and the dream fades away, and I face my day and realize that there's got to be some hero in me. There's hero in you and in me. Though sometimes it's so hard to see, yeah, there's got to be some hero in we.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can you hear me? Is that good? All right, wonderful. First of all, Sam, that was incredible. Just listening to it and thinking about the hero in yourself. And all of us have a hero inside of ourselves. If you really reach back, there's no way that we would be where we are today if we weren't a hero. Because you've been a hero to yourself, you've been a hero to someone else, you've been a hero to your community. You were a hero being here today. Think of the many people that could be here today and what they could bring to this community. So thank you for those words. It really set me up for what it is that I wanted to deliver here today. So if we can go ahead and put on the PowerPoint presentation, and we can go ahead and get started. So when I was asked to speak today, I said, okay, that's not a problem at all. What is the theme? You know, what are we talking about? And it said, perfectly imperfect passion. Now I'm sitting here going, wait a minute, hold on. What? Because it just kind of seemed like it was a play on words. And so what does that really mean, to have imperfect passion? Because to me, when you have passion, it seems to be perfect. But as I started to think deeper, and I started to think about my passion, and I started to think about what got me to that passion point, I started to realize that it wasn't perfect at all. So I want you to think for a moment. So just think for a moment, what is your passion? Like, when you think about, this is my passion, what is that? What is that? And I'm going to ask a couple of you to share your passion. When you think, okay, this is my passion. So does anybody want to share what their passion is? What is your passion? Yes. Teaching. So
Dream. So first of all, I have a wonderful family and friends here. I have my mother with me here today, and then I have friends with me here today. And so this is really neat. So Dream says, my passion is teaching. I'm going to come back to that. Anybody else? Yes, Sue. Service. Your passion is service. Absolutely. Could I have one more? Wellness. And what was yours? What did you said wellness. Wonderful. So, here are passions that we have. So you can go ahead to the next slide. How many of you had a little bit of trouble thinking about what your passion is? Anybody say, I just don't know what my passion is. Well, actually, you're right on target. And you think, no, you can go back one, I'm sorry. Yeah. You can, you think about it and you say, well, I wonder why it's so difficult to find my passion, where other people say, this is what my passion is. And it's because passion isn't something that you find. You do not find passion. You cannot just say, you know what? That is my decision of what my passion is. Passion isn't found that way. What passion truly is a process. It's something that over time you start to realize that this is your passion. And along the way you will stumble. And it's really hard because it's hiding. It isn't something that you just seek and you say, oh, I guess this is my passion today. It isn't. It is definitely something in which you have to really realize that it's a discovery process. Let me take you to the next slide. Years ago, I decided that I was going to go back to school. And this is where I discovered my passion, but it wasn't easy. My passion is definitely education. And I have just retired from Pikes Peak State College. As you heard, I'm Professor Emerita, which means that that's like the highest honor when you are ready to retire and you still have a connection with the college and the college has a connection with you because we both see value in each other. But during that time, for those 20-some years, I loved my job. I almost felt guilty because going to work and loving what you do, it's like, is that normal? But I didn't realize that that came with deep passion. Deep passion. Because passion is something that you love. It's an emotional space and place. It's almost like you have a hunger for it and a desire to always have it. So many years ago, when I decided to go back to school, it wasn't easy. I didn't go to school until I was in my 30s, when I decided it's time. A lot of things happened in my life, and I thought, okay, the way that I'm going to change it is through education. Now, that wasn't my passion. It was just a problem that I had to solve. So I started going to school. And right away, I ran into stumbling blocks. That very college that I was the special assistant to the president for academic excellence and inclusion, the same college that I was the assistant dean, the same college that I was the department chair, that same very college was the same college that when I walked through the doors to get my associate's degree, I couldn't get in. Because I struggled with reading comprehension and writing sentences grammatically correct. And I only used slang. So it was a big disconnect. And here I was in my 30s, sitting with 7th and 8th graders, trying to build my skills. Now, imagine this. Here's this 30-some-year-old sitting around all these kids that were 7th and 8th graders because it was an alternative school. As a matter of fact, downtown off of Willamette was a big red building. And they took kids that just could not seem to do what they needed to do in mainstream school, and they would put them there. And here I was sitting with them. And they would pick on me. I said, I'll see you on the playground. I had no shame in my game. So I finally build up my skills, and I end up at the college. And I start going. And I was using every center, writing center, math lab, computer lab, tutoring, you name it, I was doing it. And then I found myself graduating and getting into my bachelor's and then my master's, and then finally I got into my PhD program. And this is where I really found my passion. Because in a PhD program, you have to write a dissertation. And a dissertation is hundreds of pages long. I thought I was going to pass straight out. My mother's like, can I just buy you a PhD? Is there any way? I just don't want you to go through this. I worked and I worked. And then finally, it came time for me to turn in my PhD, my dissertation. And I'm writing, I'm working on it, and I'm missing Christmases and television shows and going out to eat and going dating. I couldn't do any of that, and I'm writing. But I needed to finish because I had made a deal with my son, Charles, that I would get a PhD before he graduated from high school so that he would follow me to see what it is to be disciplined, dedicated, and determined. Because he wanted to go to the Air Force Academy. So here it was December. I need to finish before May came around. And I'm steadily just writing. And I turn it in. When they turned it back to me about a week later, it looked like someone had bled all over the paper. I said, what is this? That's wrong, this wrong, that wrong, it did fix. So I rewrote it again. I turned it in. They came back, and it seemed like it was even more red on the paper than the time before. And I rewrote it again, and 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 again. I rewrote my dissertation 24 times. 24 times. But Sylvester Stallone said that when you get knocked down 23, you get up 24. And that's what I did. I kept standing up and being strong. Was I afraid? Absolutely. But I started to realize that this was my passion because I was hungry for it. No one was going to stop me. Nothing was going to get in my way. Those haters became my motivators. It didn't matter who said what, I was going to accomplish this. It became part of my mantra every day, every morning. This is what I was going to do, and I did it. But when we start thinking about fear, you can go to the next slide. They say that fear is the dark room where negatives are developed. Think about that. When you have fear and you constantly think about it, then that is where it comes from. And this is what happens when we have passion. See, when we start to discover our passion, as soon as we speak about it, someone is trying to crush it. Someone is going to place doubt in everything that you do. And you become fearful. But fear is also false exaggerations appearing as real. Because it's false. You have to strive. You have to make it happen. You cannot allow anyone to crush your dreams. And the moment that you start to speak it, it becomes something in existence. It starts to be just a small piece of nothing. And the more that you work towards it, the more that you think about it, it starts to become something. Until finally, it is. It's just the way that it is. But you have to go on some paths. You can go to the next slide. The path of passion. What is that? It is a journey that you go along. You can change the slide. The first path, that red path, that's the beaten path. This is the path that I was on. This is the path that many of you have been on to get to where you want to be. So that first path, that beaten path, is the most comfortable. It's not that you want to be there, but you know and recognize everything that's there. You know where to borrow a cup of sugar. You know where to go and talk to someone and confide in them. This is the place to be. But you know, in reality, you'll never get to your passion if you stay on that path. You've got to have the courage to move off of that path. But to get to the next path, that yellow one, is the path least traveled. To get on that path means that you got to go into spaces and places that you're not even familiar with, that you may not know anybody on that path. It can become very lonely because people start to wonder, why are you there? I remember as I decided that I was going to get my education, I had families and friends that would say things like, what? You're not smart enough to get a PhD. I was dating someone and they said, it's either me or that degree. I was like chucking the deuces. I'm just saying, bye. Just had to say bye. And then I even had someone to tell me, do you realize by the time you get a PhD, you're going to be like 40-something? I said, well, I'm going to be like 40-something anyway. So you have to have a comeback. You have to be able to say, I'm not going to do this. But let me tell you something. It's not something you need to practice, because when you have passion, it's going to come naturally. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to stumble along the way, but you'll get there. And when you're on that path, then you will find and meet people that I call your success entourage. These are people that are either going to reach back and to help you to pull forward, or they're going to be people from that beaten path that's going to give up their resources, that's going to allow you to stand on their shoulders to move you forward. That for me was my mother. That was my sister. That said, you know what? We'll wait on ours so that you can get yours. But remember, when you do that, you have to be willing to go back and not forget. For those people who've done for you, how do you help them with their passion? So these things are necessary. And then finally, you catapult yourself forward to that future story, that place that has your passion. That place that now it feels good. It just seems natural. You don't have to think about it. You just forge forward and you do it. That's where you are. But in order to do any of this, there's a core key piece, and that is to know your why. Go to the next slide. What is your why? Why are you doing this? Not how, but why. Because why is going to be the answer. Why is going to wake you up. Why is going to make you so natural in what you're doing that it just makes sense. Last week, I went to the accolades. It was an award breakfast. And while I was there, the guest speaker was Jackie Joyner Kersey. Fabulous. Turn the slide. And this is what she said. Those who know why always beat those who know how. Isn't that powerful? I mean, think about it. Because you might know how to do something, but if you don't know why, the moment that something gets in your way, the moment that it's no longer perfect, you fail. Because you don't know how to get there anymore. You knew one way. But if you know why, you will find the way. If you got to go over it, under it, through it, around it, break, bust it open, you're going to do that. That is deep passion. That is deep passion. Each and every one of us that are here, right here today, there is one passion that we have in common. And that is the passion to know the universe, to know spirit, to understand it in ways deeper than we ever did as we were growing up, because this is new thought. This isn't what we grew up with. You know what I mean? And it's hard. It's hard. And I guarantee you there's not one person in here that is standing here saying, I got it all. It all makes sense. Oh, absolutely not. We're still stumbling. We're still searching. We're still wondering. Because the minute that I had learned, terms like spirit and universe, I thought, I got it now. And then all of a sudden, I was driving down the road and it looked like somebody was going to hit me. And what did I say? Oh, God. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Was I supposed to say universe or was I supposed to say spirit? So those things happen to us all the time. But I will tell you that when you start to discover your passion, you start to see the value. You could change the slide. It is value over love. See, if you love something, that could be temporary. We say, I love. Or it becomes something that's conditional. And prove me if I'm wrong, but, people say I love you and get married every day, and over 50% of us get divorced, right? Love can change. Our value is at our core. Our passion is where values lie. That's where we stay. I want to play this video for you. And as we do, then I want you to just think, what speaks to you? What resonates with you as we close this talk today?
At the intersection of what is and what can be, our stories are written. It's where decisions are made and lives are ultimately defined. In which way you go when staring at this fork in the road can mean everything. Maybe you go left, take the easy path, minimal upside, minimal downside, proven and tangible. It gives immediate identity, but also brings with it some degree of regret, not because you won't like who you are, but because you'll never know what you could have been. Maybe you can't live with that. Maybe you go right. Let's say you roll the dice, dream chaser, eyes fixated on the horizon, moving toward it, soon to realize that the world you live in will bring you to your knees faster than you can blink. That uncertainty hurts, that effort without immediate validation is pain, and that the road less traveled is less traveled because of the difficulty associated with it. And now you have a very important question to ask yourself. Do you have what it takes? Can you see the big picture when the sky appears to be falling down around you? When all it takes is to backpedal and be comfortable again, to take the other road, to return to what you knew, can you still move forward? See, it's a funny thing when you're in pain, it becomes very easy to forget why you began. The pragmatic human brain sees discomfort as a problem and it wants it gone immediately. People don't give up because they're cowards. They don't quit because they don't have what it takes. They give up because they can no longer see the big picture. They forgot why they started. When all you see is directly in front of you, you lose the ability to see your finish line. When you're at a crossroad, you have to know this. If you take the hard road, you are betting on the future at the expense of the present. Dreams are a sacrifice. They're not some fluffy concept invented to prop you up after a hard day. Sure, they're the top of the mountain, but they're also the bottom. They're the dirt, the rocks, the scratching, the clawing, they're what people don't see. The chapters that are not read aloud, and when you're in it, when you are truly in it, uncertainty needs to be embraced like it's the wind to your sails. You signed that dotted line for a reason, because you can see past the immediate, the now. Because to get to the top, you start at the ground floor and you elevate past every single level that stands between you and your dream. Now will not intimidate or discourage because you are bigger than right now. You are the pages unwritten. And you did what so few people are willing to do. You didn't look at the pen, you picked it up. Now write. Write a story for the ages.
Yes. You can turn this on. You can turn the slide. I know, right? You got to write your story. Make sure you're in it. Because if you don't write your story, somebody else will, and they won't get it right. After writing my dissertation 24 times, 6 days before my son graduated from high school, I received my PhD. Yes. Today, my son received his letter that says that he is now a candidate to be major after graduating top 10% of his class from the Air Force Academy. And they sent him to Duke, and next year, he'll be Dr. Lewis as well. It's fantastic. Our passions pass on to other people. Remember that. Because all we have left to us when we die is our name and our passion. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. Powerful, powerful message.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Regina Lewis. Powerful message. Something that we can all grow from, learn from, and move forward into. Thank you. Ushers, would you please come forward? If everybody could take your offering into your hand, or the thought of your offering if it was done online, and hold it to your hearts. And know that your offering is pure love. Pure love for unity, for this congregation, for unity worldwide, and for the world. And now we're going to do our abundance affirmation, holding that offering to your heart. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Wow, so how do you follow that up? All righty, we'll figure something out. I'm having dissertation flashbacks.
Oh, right. You understand.
What? Oh, yeah. Wow. 24, you must have been a lot better than me, because mine was a few more than that. So, wow. The one thing about it is when you choose a path, and you always wonder about the mistakes you made. And it is, red markers on things and those kind of things. Musicians make mistakes too. You just don't usually know it because we don't go, oh, you don't make the face when you make a mistake. And that's a glorious thing about singing with a band is they cover your mistakes. You're not supposed to say that. But we're all perfect in every way. Remember, God lives in, as, and through us. Therefore, that perfection is already there. So, again, choosing music, I thought this one would be appropriate. And having visited with the composer of the song a few months ago, I really think it is. So, remember, you're perfect. In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life, I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, your life, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. You're perfect, you're golden, your life, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. Light-di-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-dum. Light-di-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-dum. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you is me. Whoa, whoa, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-dum. Light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di, light-di-di-di-di-dum. You're always there, you never leave. You're holding me. You set me free, a guiding light. Your empathy, your confidence to express in and as me. You're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing that I'm perfect. I'm golden. You're the light of my life. You're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect. So I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me. Whoa, whoa, lie-di-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di-dum. Lie-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di-dum. You're perfect, golden light, my love.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sam Walters. Okay, so the ushers have brought the offering. If you could turn to the congregation, we're all going to bless the offering together. So everybody just raise their hands to the offering. We bless this offering with all our hearts. And so it is. Thank you. And now, Forrest is going to come up, and we are going to do the children's blessing. So let's rub our hands together and get that energy flowing. And then we say, you are loved, special and important. We see you and bless you, divine beings you are. Okay, very good. All right, and now, the face of God.
We're going to do more tracks. So we're going to, this is the face of God. It's a song by Karen Drucker, actually. Karen Drucker and another author. So. You'll hear Karen again, Karen Karsh.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
Okay, we got through that.
Okay. And now the prayer for protection. We're doing this as a congregation as well. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Okay, so go in power, go in peace, stay in your rows. If you like, join hands because we are going to do the peace song.
All right.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
There's some goodies.
Oh, my. Okay. Wonderful.
I know, right?
I understand.